Ashley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Thursday, May 18th. So we have the moon in Taurus all day. We've already entered into the new moon window when we had the moon move into Taurus energy here yesterday. This is a full day of Taurus energy as we're building to the potent peak energy of the new moon that will be taking place here on Friday. So if you haven't listened to the forecast, if you haven't downloaded your moon guide, I'm going to recommend you do all of that because this is essentially a very, very pivotal change point for us, not only in our individual lives, but in the collective consciousness as well. And this new moon in Taurus is very important for a couple of reasons, but mostly because we're closing the door on this eclipse energy and we are being kind of returned to normal moon and energy programming. Now, there are 7 different aspects here today. 6 of them involve the moon, so relatively quiet, I want to say. However, quiet days are usually quiet because the adjustment in energies that we're currently going through is enough. And if you've been listening, you would know that this is a very important week in the cosmos. We have a lot of energy shifting. And therefore, a quiet day is very welcomed as we kind of recalibrate to the new energies that are taking place and getting our inner realms in alignment. So the very first thing that we got going on here today is the sun sextiling with Neptune. Now, this is a beautiful energy. Why? Because we've been waiting for some inspiration. We've been waiting for some very life-changing downloads. We've been waiting for a glimpse of our future, for some validation and confirmation on the path that we want to actually move forward in pursuit of. This is going to do just that. The sun, of course, shining a bright light in Taurus energy on what it is that we want to build, what it is that we want to create, what it is that we want to bring into our physical realms to provide ourselves with safety, security, stability, happiness, joy, pleasure. Again, trying to create a life that not only looks good, but feels good to our soul, to our spirit. Neptune in Pisces energy, of course, its place of power, is all about the higher realms of inspiration, of creativity, of our dreams, of our vision, of what is possible outside of our physical realms. Very spiritual in nature, very metaphysical in nature. And so a sextile is a harmonization of these energies coming together. And so there's a shining a bright light on a new idea, a new level of inspiration, a new level of insight that will kind of refresh us, renew us, orient us into the path, the direction that we're going to need to take action on, and really get the wheels, the inner wheels a working, strategizing, calculating how it is that we are going to move forward, take action, and make some of these moves once the universe supports us in actually doing so. The moon in Taurus is going to sextile beautiful energy with Venus, its ruler, meaning that the Taurus energy, Venus rules over that. The moon right now, and again, the moon rules over Cancer energy that Venus is in. Venus rules over the Taurus energy that the moon is in. So this in astrology is called mutual reception. When the rulers kind of switch their energies, they kind of gain a different perspective by changing the energies up and sitting in the different energies of the opposing rulership. This is a good jam. This is a good vibe. We get our heart space, our heart activations popping off. Again, we talked about this in the ascension forecast this week on all the energy going on in our heart chakra. Well, this is going to illuminate for us where it is that we are growing, where it is that we are making some very good decisions on how it is that we are going to move forward in building new foundations, routines, practices on how it is that we plan on taking better care of ourselves. Both mind, body, and soul. Again, there is this element where we have been operating in fragmented energies, separate from acting as a complete wholeness. And so especially when it comes to what it is that we need in our lives to feel safe and secure and happy, we are identifying that. And of course, a lot of this is in the realm of our routines, our relationships, our money matters and resources, because that's what the Taurus energy is all about. That's even what that Venus energy is all about, is taking a good look at the physical realm, the physical circumstances that we've already built and created in our life, and seeing where it is that we have to boss things up, strengthen some of the aspects of how it is that we go through our day-to-day lives in order to provide ourselves with some of the things that we've been looking outside of ourselves for other people to fulfill within us. The moon is going to semi-square Neptune. So this doesn't feel so good. A semi-square, although not as major of a conflict or a tension point as a full-on square, it still is a little bit of a discord, a little bit of an unalignment. So emotionally speaking, the confusion sets in. And again, we're in a new moon phase, the dark phase of the moon. There's no illumination. We're sitting in the darkness. We have to sit in the funk. We have to understand what it is that we've outgrown, what it is that we're done with, what it is we no longer want to experience. We're having these realizations in the dark phase of the moon because the new moon, the dark phase of the moon, allows us to see what isn't working and to create a framework and alternative on what would be best put in its place. This is how we tap into the new moon manifestation energies. We haven't had a new moon in Taurus for a very long time, meaning regular new moon. Last year's new moon in Taurus was an eclipse. So we haven't had normal new moon Taurus energy for approximately 2 years. And again, if you download the moon guide, you will go through and understand why it is that, yes, we are initiating a brand new cycle, but why it is that at 28 degree, we're also closing the door on the 2-year version of ourselves that got us to this particular point. Regardless, we have to sit in the confusion. We have to sit in the funk. We have to sit in the uncomfortability of our lives right now in order to make the decision on what needs to stay, what needs to go, and then, of course, decide an alternative on what it is that would be better in the space of the things that we know we want to eliminate. The moon is then going to make a positive aspect with Mars. Mars, of course, nearing the critical crisis degrees in this Cancer energy, preparing to move into Leo here shortly after the new moon in Taurus takes place, and just hours before the sun wraps up Taurus season altogether and moves into Gemini season. Now, this is a good vibe. This is a good energy because it means that we are building ourselves up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in order to align with a new mission, a new path, a new direction, a new purpose. Mars cannot wait to take action. And especially in that Leo energy, he is aligned with the heart space, willing to take risks, willing to be bold and brave and courageous to put himself out there and just go after what it is that he's been blocked of going after for basically a whole year at this point. Again, let's not get into the whole, Mars being stunted out in Gemini energy for 7 months. Let's not even get into that. But let's just say that when Mars actually moves into this Leo energy, we are going to make some great freaking strides. And the inspiration, the seed, is getting planted here and now. The moon will then interact with Chiron in such a way that will offer us a little bit of a choice point, a little bit of a decision point on where it is that we are willing to push the boundaries of our comfortability, to grow, to heal, to align with the new version of ourselves that is an ever-changing landscape. Now, granted, there are wounds that are still alive and well, but here's the thing. We have an opportunity to stay on the revolving wheel of the same old, and only receive what it is that we've already got, or we could push ourselves to be bigger and bolder and braver and more courageous than ever and align with a new version of ourselves, healing and growing through the pain, the trauma of the experiences that have pushed us into this new version of ourselves, into our true power, into our new authority. And now the choice is yours. We're going to see very clearly our options. If we continue to settle and stay the same, we know what we're going to get. We may not know what we're going to get if we push ourselves out into unfamiliar territory, but at this point, unfamiliar territory is looking pretty good compared to what it is that we've built, that we're no longer in alignment with, that doesn't feel good, that we're looking to grow out of. The moon will then make a positive interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, in this Pisces energy. So this is a good vibe because it means that we're taking a realistic and logical approach to how it is that we're actually going to take action on building the elements in our lives that are going to align us with actually being able to achieve our dream, our vision, our goal. No more are we sitting around hoping and praying for the magic of the cosmos to just deliver the package to our door. Now we have to roll up our sleeves, take action, and actually do the work to build the elements in our lives that we know that we need to have in order to provide us with safety, security, happiness, and pleasure. This is a changing of the guard, so to speak, in who it is that we are, and of course, in the energy of the collective consciousness, because of course, Saturn, the Lord of Karma, he's wrapping up a 30-year cycle here in this Pisces energy, which means that we have to undo all of the things that have been done over the last 30 years, because it has led to a I'm going to say, not so truthful experience, not so aligned experience. And so we have to dismantle the old form of beliefs, the old form of programmings, before we can actually start fresh and start new. Not that I want to get ahead of myself, but when Saturn actually moves into Aries energy, that is when we build new earth. That is when we actually create something fresh, something new that will be long lasting for the next 30-year cycle. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Taurus energy coming up to, bumping into, sitting next to Uranus, the great awakener in this Taurus energy for many, many moons now. So what we get here is a blast of energy that hopefully is going to come in the form of, I'm going to say, physical energy, of inspiration, of aha moments, of epiphanies, of clarity. However, it could also come in the form of restlessness, of anxiety, of just too much energy in the freaking body, creating a lot of confusion, creating a lot of malfunctioning physical forms. This is just a reminder, Uranus energy affects the central nervous system. So this is, again, go listen to the ascension forecast for this week. This is why when we have some of these energetic aspects, it reverberates through the cosmos and it reverberates in our physical bodies through anxiety or through anticipation, through uneasiness, uncertainty, or true epiphanies that totally change the game, that totally change the path of moving forward. We could definitely expect some information and details to just come out of the woodwork, out of left field, that totally change the game. Again, like I've been saying, we don't even know that we're missing information right now. So when it comes out of the blue, it's going to be a shock to the system. It's going to change the course of our path, of our want, needs, and desires moving forward. So let's hope that the moon kind of bumping into Uranus in this way is bringing the best of aha moments, of epiphanies, of positive change. But be prepared if you're not working the physical body or you're not in alignment with channeling these types of potent energies, that it could bring on restlessness, anxiety, and kind of put you in a position where you're just overwhelmed and you just don't know what to think or what to do. Let's all hope for us to align with the most positives, because as we are going into this new moon in Taurus, we definitely need a change of perspective, as we are gifted this opportunity to kind of have a new set of eyes and see our lives from this new perspective.